Good morning, everyone. Wanted to give you a really quick update on our homestead build. For those of you who do not know, we are building a house out of pocket and we are turning it into a little homestead so that we can be self-reliant, self-sustainable, and we've been doing it for about a year. What we're actually doing is we're turning a 16 by 44 Dirksen shed side lofted barn into a home for our family of 5, and we're going to have animals and grow gardens and things like that to be financially free, debt free, and live life without restrictions. However, as much as this is a wonderful experience and things have seemed to be going well, there have been some things that have come up. And just to give you a quick background story, I will kind of let you know what those things are after the background story so you can get a better understanding as to what I'm talking about. We purchased our property in March of last year. Upon purchasing our property in March of last year, we were under the impression that we were purchasing a little over 2 acres of property. And we were also advised that we were not within a planning and zoning district at all, and that basically we were free to do with the property what we wanted. This was discussed with both the real estate agent and the seller and even our title company, and it turns out that that's not the case at all. And how we found this out is actually in a pretty crummy way and kind of set us back and provided some delays for us, but we're still rolling with the punches and still pushing forward. So how we found out that we actually do not own 2 acres of property, or a little over 2 acres of property, is this. I had gone onto our county website and kind of looked for the measurements of the property so I could find out ideally where the property pins would be, so I can get a better understanding of where the property lines are, and where ours ends and where our neighbors begins. So after further looking at our property report card, we noticed that it's showing that we only have 0.6 acres of land, which is well under the 2 acres that we thought we were getting. It was kind of alarming, so we contacted county, and county assured us that there's no way that our parcel that we purchased could have ever been over 2 acres of land and could never even come close to 2 acres of land. That was kind of confusing, kind of alarming, so we're still dealing with the legalities of that issue as is. However, what turns out that we don't have 0.6 acres of land. We actually have an acre of property. And the way we found this out is that our neighbors, that our property line borders, had come down to the property where we are building and put no trespassing signs on our property, probably a good 35 feet into our property line, basically claiming that it's theirs, which is really confusing. I was shocked. Cody was really upset because it was very intrusive, and I had a really good idea of where the property lines were now because I was able to locate the existing property pins from probably 10 or 15 years ago. And so we knew that our neighbors were well over their property line, and we contacted one of our local surveyors, which were awesome. They ran out and got their survey done right away, and basically came back and says, no, you don't have a little over a half an acre. You do have an acre of property here. And so our neighbor's property line that they thought they had, it turns out that it was actually ours. And we had more than we actually thought. So our neighbors are not happy at the moment because they lost property. And I do understand where they're coming from. When you lose something that you thought was yours the whole time, it is kind of devastating. So I'm not disregarding that at all. And I absolutely understand how they feel at this point. However, with that being said, out of anger and frustration, our neighbors unfortunately did something that was really uncalled for. And this is how we found out that we are actually in planning and zoning and that we really don't have free reign to do what we want with the property after all. They actually had this happen. This is an action required notice that we got from county planning and zoning. And then not only that, but we also got this. You see this? This is an official stop order paper from county wastewater because we have a septic tank sitting out on the property and we're not able to install that ourselves, it turns out. On top of that, we also got this beautiful thank you note from our neighbors that was taped to the door after they reported us to planning and zoning. So our neighbors reported us out of anger instead of talking with us. Now it's weird because after we got the survey done, we very politely went to their house and we knocked on the door and we said, "Hey, we just wanted to chat with you and kind of show you what the survey came back at." And we had the map with us and the surveyors had given us, and we're going to give them a copy so that they could have a copy of it. And they refused to talk to us. They refused to look at the map. They refused to talk to us. We had even walked the property lines with them to be really neighborly and make sure that we're not overstepping. And, we had discussed with them that we would have to get the property surveyed after Christmas, and which we were going to anyway, but they pushed it to happen a lot sooner than we had actually anticipated. So this thank you note was taped to the door after they had reported us and we had gotten the stop order and the action required from planning and zoning. So the thank you note basically says, "Howdy neighbors, thanks so much for having the survey done. Sorry we didn't connect last Sunday. If you need anything, give us a call anytime." Then it says, "P.S. Have the missus give us a call so we have a return phone number." This is kind of a slap in the face. This was done on the same day that we were reported to county, which is fine. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything wrong. I mean, we were trying to build a house. We thought we were out of planning and zoning district. We're not. We have to do things the right way, which is fine. Everybody's expected to follow the same kind of laws and rules and regulations, and that's what we intend to do. But the way this was handled, I felt was very, very poor. So we're kind of dealing with that right now. I am going to post some really great updated pictures. You guys would not believe the amount of work that we did get done in the inside. It's really awesome. It looks a lot different from the last photos that I posted. So it's just looking more and more like a home as we progress throughout the building process. So we do have quite a bit of work ahead of us. Funny thing is, apparently I'm going to become certified to install septic systems. The reason why is because it's much cheaper for me to become certified in the state of Missouri than it is to spend the $15,000 to have one installed on the property. We got authorization from county to do a holding tank, which is nice. And with that being said, we're going to deal with it that way until I do get my certification in May. Hopefully these classes don't get postponed again. And then that way I can just have the system installed myself and not have to worry about paying a contractor, $10, $15, $20,000 to come out and install the system itself. Which is kind of unexpected. I never would have thought that I would be going and taking a class to become certified to install septic systems of all things. But hey, you do what you gotta do, and that's life. So that's where we're currently sitting right now. I will post the updated photos so everybody can see. I'm really, really excited. Things are starting to come together a lot quicker than I had ever imagined. It's so funny because starting off, I never felt like we were moving that quick. I felt like it was taking forever, but now looking at the photos that I just posted 2 weeks ago, or the videos, in comparison to where we are now, it's actually pretty awesome. So it's, like I said, it's starting to look more like a home, and then hopefully within the month we could be moved out there is what we're hoping. So wish us luck. We're going to need it.